everybody, welcome back to 5 Minute Maths. So today's session we're going to be looking into compound area. So you might get something which looks a bit like this, and compound just means that it's built up between two or more shapes. So if we look at this, I'm thinking maybe I can split this into recognizable shapes. So you could split it here, you could split it here. I don't think in this example it matters much, so I'm just going to do it there for argument's sake. So I need to work out this area of, let's call this shape A and let's call this shape B. Let's do A then. So if we look at A, we can see that A has got this length, which is 4. So A is going to be 4 multiplied by the height here. Now, the full thing is 10, okay? But up to this bit here, up to this bit is 3, which means the rest of the way must be 7. So that's 4 times by 7, and we get 28 centimeters squared. Now let's tackle B. So B, we can see we've got this length of 3, so that's going to be 3 times by this length. We've already got the 13 in there, which is great, so that's going to give us 39 centimeters squared. But we want the area of the whole thing, so it's obviously going to be the totals. So let's take the 28, add on to the 39. I can't do that in my head. What is that? That's 67. That's going to be 67 centimeters squared for this question. Sorry to interrupt you. Just give me 1 second of your time. Hit that subscribe button. Okay, let's try another example. So let's try something like question F. Okay, so with these questions, by the way, there's lots of different ways to do things. You might have a different or slightly different way to what I do, but this is just the way that I would do things. So with this one, what you could do, you could break this up into a couple of shapes. So you could break it, I don't know, maybe you break it here, and maybe just do this shape, and this shape. But something that I've recognized is that if we fill this space in, we could work out the full shape. I'm going to call this FS for full shape. Now the full shape is going to be the 8 along the top, multiplied by this 7, and that gives us the full shape. So 8 times by 7 is 56 in centimeters, so centimeters squared. But then, if I work out this little section here and then take it out, so take it away, that might work as well. So let's see if that actually works. So I've got this 3. Let's go for LS for the little shape, let's call it that. So 3 multiplied by, I need this length here. Now I know the full distance is 8. So this bit's 2, this bit's 3. So the bits that I've got equal 5, so this bit must be 3. Can you see how that makes the full distance 8? So that's 8. So this is 2 plus 3 plus 3. That gives us 8. So this little rectangular shape here, or in fact a square shape, isn't it? It's 3 times by 3, and that gives us 9, so 9 centimeters squared. And then we're just going to do a subtraction, aren't we? So we're just going to say 56 minus the 9. That gives us, what is that? It's 47, isn't that? So 47 centimeters squared for this one. Okay, let's do one more example today. So let's see what example I can give you guys. Let's see. Let's do something on this then. So let's just take a look. I'm just going to do question 3. See what you think of this one. I might do some more. Let's see how we get from this. Okay, so in this one then, we can, so like we say, we've got to break this down into recognizable shapes. So I can see if I split this here, we can see we've got a rectangle, let's call it shape A, and we've got a triangle, call that shape B. So let's do shape A to begin with. So shape A is going to be this 4 times by this 6. So 4 times by 6 gets us 24 centimeters squared. Okay, next. We've got this triangle. Now the triangle area is going to be half base times by height. I don't like to use that formula. I prefer to say base times by height divided by 2. Up to you though. Anyway, base we can see is this length here, which is equal to this 6. So I've got 6 times by the height. We can see the height is 3. So 6 times by 3. Let's divide this by 2. That gives me 18 over 2, which is going to give us 9. So this is 9 centimeters squared. So then finally, we need to add A to B, and we just need to say 24. Oops. So we just need to say 24 plus the 9, and that gives us 33 centimeters squared. Okay, just checking if there's anything else I want to go over. Maybe something like, let's do question D. So question D is very similar to what we've just done, but there's an extra step of calculation. So let's just do question D. Let's see if we can manage this one. Okay, same sort of process. Do the exact same things that we've just been doing. Okay, so I'm going to split this. So I could split this there. I think that's kind of pointless because then we get 3 shapes. But what if we just split it here? Let's see if this works. And by the way, sometimes when we go through these, sometimes we don't know if they are going to work. We just check them, we test them. If it doesn't work, we can just backpedal and try something else. So let's call this shape A and let's call this shape B. So shape A, what do we know? Well, we need to do base times by height, or length times by width. So the base is the 30, times it by the height, which is 15. So let's sling this into the calculator. 30 times by 15 gets us 450 meters squared. Remember, it's in meters this time. Next, let's look at shape B. So shape B, we need to do base times by height divided by 2. That's for the triangle formula. So base of this triangle, I can't actually see the base, but I know the base stops here. So if the full distance is 30, then this distance is 22. That makes this distance 8. So there's the 8. Next, I know the height of this stops here. So the full height of the entire shape from here to here is 20, but from here to here is 15. So if that's 15, that must make this one 5. So 8 times by 5 divided by 2 gives me 40 along the top, divided by 2 gives me 20. So this is now 20 meters squared. So then we just need to add them together. So 450 add on 20, that gives me 470 meters squared. Now, just a quick tip. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, that was a big number. This is a small number. Those shapes look not massively similar, but I didn't think it'd be that big of a distance. So I'm just going to double check things, and I just want to make sure that we can double check absolutely everything. So A is 30 times by 15. That's definitely correct there. Then B is the whole thing's 30. That's 22. Obviously not drawn to scale, so that makes that 8. Definitely 8 there. That's correct. Then we've got the height of 20. Take away the 15 makes that 5. That's right. 8 times 5 is 40. Divided by 2 is 20. So yes, it must be correct. Okay, everyone, hopefully that made sense. Hopefully you guys are happy with that. If anybody needs some extra support, you guys feel free to join this website. So you can go to my website, it's a link in the bio, it's a link in the description below, and you can join as many lessons as you like over the week. First 7 days is free to try, and that's a nice risk-free way of doing things, so you can test out and see how things go. Okay, cheers everyone, speak soon, see you in the next one.